What's going on? This is Ben from Real Ones, day 3 of Pitchfork Fest, and we're here with
Sen Morimoto.
Sen. It's great to chat with you. You know, I just checked out your over-under with Pitchfork.
Chicago, underrated, always, no matter how much praise it gets or how many people lie about it in the media. I said it, underrated, greatest city in the world.
Just wanted to continue this convo. How is Chicago treating you, maybe from when you first started to get involved in everything up until now, you know, being able to bring out so many talented friends, you know, on this Pitchfork stage?
It's been super inviting, kind of always. I'm not like a super extroverted person, so when I first moved here, I was definitely just like at the crib by myself, making beats all the time. Honestly, then like I started meeting people just through like whatever random thing happened. Like I had a roommate who knew somebody, I worked with somebody at a restaurant or whatever, and I just did like little recording sessions with friends at people's houses, you know, in the bedroom, in the living room. Everyone had a little mic and an interface. All those things add up, you know, over time, and they're all just like some memories that I honestly will cherish forever because, I don't know, it was so pure, you know? We just wanted to do it, and everybody was just trying to reach out and find somebody who was like-minded to create with. I feel like that foundation of energy is where I'm coming from with like what I want to build in the city and what I want to be a part of in the city, you know?
Yeah, that's a really good answer. And I mean, I definitely get how things start out super DIY. I mean, does that kind of like apply to your recording process now? Like, do you prefer to make stuff in the studio these days, or can you usually knock stuff out like in your room?
It's now become kind of a mix of both. So I'm putting out an album in November called Diagnosis, and it's technically, I guess, my first studio album, but it really is still like a family affair. I worked on it at a new studio in Chicago called Friends of Friends, with Brock Mende, who's like a brother to me, and the demos are all stuff that I still recorded at home, and then we kind of like polished them up in the studio, which was new to me and really cool to like have somebody who understands how sound works in a much deeper way than I do. But yeah, in terms of just writing, producing, we still do so much of it at home. For me and my partner Kaina as well, like we work on everything at the house, keep it in the family, you know?
Yeah, I like that. The conversation of like, is Chicago over or underrated, right? To like build off of that a little bit. I mean, I know a lot of people when they get to a certain level in their careers, you know, maybe they feel like to take that next step, they need to go to New York or LA.
There's a lot of infrastructure for music stuff in LA and New York, and so like here in Chicago, there's really not that kind of foundation. We have to hustle as like a unit to make it work. I just don't really believe that like you have to do it a certain way. I definitely understand though, so like I sympathize with the idea that someone might feel like if you go to LA, you can be in so many more sessions, you know, be around so many more musicians and different people in the industry or whatever. You know, Chicago's different because everything has to be more DIY, and you're really relying on support from your peers and, you know, trying to give that back to the community at the same time. I grew up in a little town in Massachusetts, in the Wendell State Forest, so it's literally like maybe 800 people live there.
Wow.
And there's like a store and a post office and a pub, and those are the only businesses in the town, and it's actually one building, and then everything else just trees. And so like I moved here and it was really, really different. I haven't really felt like I needed to go further than that. I think there's so much you can build just with people. You don't really need all that other shit. But I definitely understand there's pressure, especially now in the music industry, to like be at every session and go hustle and do everything. A lot of times I think musicians are stuck in a place where you have to think about it from a place of insecurity, not like about yourself or anything like that, but just like literal lack of stability. You know, you can't take the time to be like, I'm not gonna go do every opportunity I can right now, because if I don't, it's all gonna fall apart.
Yeah, the grind culture is super prevalent in a lot of different facets of music. Logical next question is, how do you feel like you take care of yourself?
Honestly, I'm not that good at it, but I'm working on it.
I feel that. I feel that.
That's been a big conversation with me and my partner. We've been talking about just how to choose more selectively and intentionally what we're taking on, to come from a place where you value your own mental health, your physical health, your time, and like what you are spending your life energy doing. It can't all just be the hustle. It can't all just be to build. You also have to live and connect with people and spend time just like not doing anything and
locking yourself in the studio trying to get inspiration. You know, you might find more exactly just smelling the roses a little bit. I feel
right
that.
But even then, you know, like so that was like my first thought, but then you realize that even when you're thinking about enjoying your life, it's for the sake of being inspired to make more art, and you're like, now I'm stuck in a loop. I just need to enjoy shit and maybe not write a song about it, you know?
That's very real. Okay, so final question here. Who are some Chicago artists that you're keeping your eye on right now? Burgeoning talents, you know, who might be like next up in the scene?
Some of my favorite shit going on in the city right now is Senite, Blake St. David, Godly the Ruler's really sick. There's a bunch of bands coming up now in the rock scene as well that are like super young. It's so cool to see kids be kind of fearless in a way that I felt like I wasn't at that time. I'm honestly always trying to like hear more music that's going on because I feel like I'm getting older now and it's harder to be like at every show and whatever, but there's so much good music here, endlessly.
Exactly what we're all about is trying to share as much of that as possible with folks. So thank you so much for the time, Sen. Enjoy the rest of your festival.
Appreciate it. Yeah, have a good one.
Sweet.
Thanks, y'all.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.